So next we're going to talk about image optimization. There's a few different pieces that you want to look at when it comes to on-page SEO of your images. First, the images and the user experience are an important factor when it comes to optimizing your site for images and SEO. Having a good user experience is an important factor when you're trying to increase your website's rankings. Um, some other important pieces are the title attribute and the alt text. These are two tags that you put on the HTML and the image that describe the image, and they're very important in telling the search engine what your image is about. And then the image size itself is important, as well as the file name, and we'll get more in depth with these in the slides that come. So first, the user experience. User experience and using images to break up content and spread your content out can create a lot of value for your content, as well as boost the user experience by breaking up content and making it look a little more nice and neat. If you look at this image of these two different pages here that we've made, you choose which one you would rather read. Personally, I'd rather read the one with the images that's broken up into small pieces, has a nice big image to break it up the content, and also provide more value to your content and to the page. So the file name of your image is another important piece. It's just another place that you can put your important keywords in, and using your main keywords and file names can help you rank better in Google Images, as well as just the normal Google web search. So your file name should be very descriptive, and they should contain content-rich keywords about the image itself that explain the image while also using your primary, secondary keywords. Every image should have a descriptive file name that explains the image. You want to use dashes instead of using underscores. Google prefers this. You also want to use a few keywords of your page in your file name to boost your rankings a little bit and create higher density of keywords on your page. We have a little quote here at the bottom by Google, who says that the file name can give Google clues about the subject matter of the image. So try to make your file name a good description of the subject matter of the image. So the title attribute is kind of the title of the image. This doesn't have any potential SEO benefits itself, but it provides a better user experience by providing a text description of an image when you hover over it. So if you go to an image on any web page that has a title tag and you hover over it, you'll see a small description of that image. And this can actually help the user experience of your site by both providing a higher density of keywords, as well as being able to explain images to people that are using your website. You also want to remember not to use the same text as your alternative text or the alt text, which we'll explain in the next slide. But we've also put some code down here of what it looks like with the title tag in the code. And if you have WordPress, then just click on your attachment or image, and you'll see on the right side here you have title, caption, alt text description. This is where you would enter in the title for if you're using WordPress. So next is the alt text. This is the most important tag on your image elements, and you should have this tag on every single image on your website. Search engines use this data to figure out what the image is actually about. Since the crawlers are text-based, they can't see the images on your web page. So the only way for them to know what the image is about is the alt text. So you want to remember to populate that for every image. Don't try and stuff a bunch of keywords in the alt text. That's not going to help you at all. A good way that we like to think about writing alt text is pretend that you're explaining the image to a blind person or someone who can't see the image. So we have a little example down here of our alt text in one of our images that says boost rankings with image SEO. So it's explaining what the image is about in somewhat of a sentence form, but also containing some of our big keywords for that page. So when you're looking at image SEO, you also want to think about image size. Creating images for your website with the lowest file size possible helps the user experience of the website by allowing the images to load faster, which in turn allows the website to load faster, or the web page to load faster, which keeps customers around or visitors as well, and increases your time on page and dwell time, which will boost your rankings a lot. So here are some ways that you can optimize the images on your site. Number one is crop your images to the max length of your content, or width. So if your web page is 1,000 pixels across, none of your images should be higher than 1,000 pixels across, because it's not going to get any wider than that. There's no reason for your image to be that big. You can reduce the quality of the image if you're using, Photoshop or any other image editor. A lot of the times you can save your image with a less quality, but you want to make sure that you keep a good quality photo, because, as we mentioned before, having good images will increase the value of your page as well as the user experience of your page. When possible, use PNG files. They're a lot smaller than JPEGs, and they're a lot better for web. The last thing is to show thumbnails and link to the larger images if you can, if possible. This will allow it to load faster because you're showing thumbnails instead of the actual large image. And if they wanted to see the image larger, they could click it, and it won't ruin the user experience.